In the summer when he was 18, Cheng Shi received a call from his white moonlight, asking him to go and confess his love. Holding a bouquet of roses, he arrived at the scene, only to find out that it was just a prank from a game of truth or dare. Cheng Shi felt that his youth was shattered on that very day. In the winter when he was 36, an accident took Cheng Shi's life. Looking back on the 7 years he had wasted on his white moonlight, he still couldn't let it go. However, he was reincarnated and went back to that summer when he was 18. In this lifetime, he decided not to be a bootlicker anymore. He regained himself and then encountered a precious girl who was worth cherishing for a lifetime. But just when their relationship was getting better and better, the white moonlight came chasing after him again. Xiao Cheng, why are you ignoring me? Chapter 2, Once promised to be the best in the world. Son, it's so late and you are still not sleeping. Look at you, sweating all over your head. When Cheng Yu saw Yuan Xiongqin, he looked at him with both reproach and concern. Cheng Yu didn't answer. Looking at his son's somewhat strange eyes, he hesitated to speak. For Yuan Xiongqin, her son was only a few meters away from her. But for Cheng Yu, there was a gap in time and space, and the chasm of death. Son, you're so strange today. Yuan Xiongqin had wanted to scold Cheng Yu, but now she couldn't bear to. Cheng Yu's father was sitting on the sofa, smoking and watching TV. Dear, our son is grown up and surely has his own ideas. Don't worry too much. Humph, humph, humph. I won't care, so that my son won't think I'm wordy. Cheng Jianqiang, don't you know your cigarette is out? I've told you so many times, don't let my son smoke. Cheng Jianqiang chuckled and put out the cigarette. Finally unable to hold back, Cheng Yu's eyes began to turn red. The family sat around idly, and the lamplight was warm. This simple happiness, for him who had been successful before, was a luxury among luxuries. Yuan Xiongqin said with great concern. Son, why are your eyes so red? Are you going to cry? What happened? Cheng Yu forced a smile. No, I was smoked by the cigarette. Mom, can you ask Dad to quit smoking? That smell is too strong and seriously affects my review. Dad muttered, it also affects your son's review. In the last mock exam, your son didn't do very well either. I'm afraid he can't even reach the first-tier university admission score line. Yuan Xiongqin, don't say that about my son. He just didn't perform well. My son will at least get into a 985 university in the college entrance examination. Dad, it would be good if your son could get into an ordinary first-tier university. I have to pray for him. I'm going back to my room to study. Cheng Yu watched his parents bickering and was afraid that he couldn't help crying, so he quickly found an excuse to go back to the bedroom. The setting was strange and familiar. There was a desk with peeling paint, and on the desk were bookends with a thick 5 years of college entrance examination simulation in them, and there was a Dragon Ball wallpaper beside the desk. After calming down his thoughts, Cheng Yu murmured. System, has it dinged? What's the hurry? Have you signed in? Well, it hadn't dinged. It didn't matter. Just like the protagonists in the novels he had read before, all he needed was a reasonable cheat. And now it was a blessing from heaven. Cheng Yu wanted to make money, a lot of money, but it wasn't the time yet. He had to complete the main task of the college entrance examination first. Otherwise, if he told Dad and Mom that he didn't want to study anymore and was going to embrace the future trend, was he going to punch the king? Dad and Mom would tear him apart. Cheng Yu still missed his childhood very much. At that time, he only knew to revolve around Xianing, and he didn't know how many wonderful things he had missed. So this time, Cheng Yu didn't want to leave any regrets for himself. The college entrance examination, the college entrance examination. What kind of level was I in my previous life? Cheng Yu recalled. In the college entrance examination, he barely reached the first-tier university admission score line and went to a second-tier college in the provincial capital. After the results came out, both Mom and Dad were a little disappointed, and the homeroom teacher also shook his head, saying that it was a pity for this child. Cheng Yu's college entrance examination result was originally the second in the class. Ordinarily, he should be a seedling for a 985 university. The homeroom teacher didn't say one thing, how stupid it was to waste his future for chasing a girl. The stupidest thing was that he didn't even catch up. Later, in college, in front of Xianing, Cheng Yu wasted too much unnecessary energy and failed to live up to the fairly good learning talent bestowed upon him by heaven. Until his junior year, Xianing found a rich second-generation boyfriend, and then Cheng Yu completely woke up and chose to take the postgraduate entrance examination. With a fierce determination, he counterattacked from a second-tier university to a first-class prestigious school, Sichuan University. Eventually, relying on the resources of the school, he succeeded in starting a business and built Cheng Yu Technology. It would be good to be able to get into Sichuan University. Cheng Yu calculated while looking at the calendar. May 6, 2009. There were less than 2 months left before the college entrance examination. Oh my, still a 985 university? If people in my previous life knew me earlier, they would have beaten me. I'm afraid I couldn't even get into a junior college. Cheng Yu wiped his sweat and had a sense of dying before achieving one's ambition. He picked up that 5 years of college entrance examination simulation, found a set of math test papers, and looked at them reluctantly. He didn't understand the formulas and so on, but as soon as he looked at the questions, the knowledge began to emerge clearly. The first multiple choice question was about the application of sets. As soon as he finished reading the question stem, he had the answer in his head. Looking at the second question, trigonometric functions, just like the first question, after thinking for a few seconds, it was easily solved. What's going on? He continued to do the questions. Cheng Yu gradually had an understanding. Now he was not the 16-year-old himself, but had obtained the wisdom of a 60-year-old. It was like the superposition of two souls. And the benefits this brought. Even the knowledge of his college days could be remembered roughly. Yeah, I'm going to be a cheat. Cheng Yu's heart beat a little faster. He felt good. Now there was a lot of college knowledge in his head out of nowhere. Looking at the college entrance examination questions, it was a sure dimensionality reduction strike. There was also the English that he had worked hard on for the postgraduate entrance examination in his previous life. Those vast vocabularies, plus his English ability that he had worked hard on for the postgraduate entrance examination in his previous life, and then familiarizing himself with the test-taking skills, he could easily get a high score. Just talking about math and English, he could get 140 points. As for the comprehensive liberal arts, with the improvement of his math ability, the comprehensive liberal arts could probably get 240 points. For Chinese, it was the same as in his previous life. Just getting a passing score would be okay. No, this was his naked score in the college entrance examination. It was enough to raise his score from 500 to 600. Wasn't this easily reaching the second-tier university admission score line? Roughly calculated, could he get close to 700 points? With such an improvement, he might be able to touch the threshold of Tsinghua and Peking University. Yeah, this was the rhythm of defying the heavens. Lingsheng City was a county-level city under the jurisdiction of Rongcheng. Although the education level couldn't compare with that of the provincial capital, every year the top students could still reach the level of Tsinghua and Peking University admission score line. As long as one could reach the Tsinghua and Peking University admission score line, those leading enterprises in the city would reward 200,000 yuan. It was not a small amount of money in 2009. As long as Cheng Yu could touch the threshold of Tsinghua and Peking University, the startup capital would be available. There is gold in books, and the ancients never deceived me. Only after an hour and a half, Cheng Yu finished this set of math test papers. After comparing with the answers, his thinking was basically correct, but there were some small flaws in some answering steps. 140 points. After estimating the score, Cheng Yu was startled by himself. He had done the real college entrance examination questions. It meant that in the college entrance examination, he could almost get 140 points. Comfortable. This was the experience of a cheat. Knock, knock. Mom knocked on the door and brought in a bowl of tremella porridge for Cheng Yu, not forgetting to remind him. Son, don't study too late. Go to bed early. Okay. Cheng Yu answered and closed the book. If it were him in his previous life, he would surely have thought Mom was worthy. Now, he only felt happy. After drinking the tremella porridge, Cheng Yu took out a slider phone from the drawer. Nokia N95, equipped with the Symbian S60 operating system. When Cheng Yu was 18 years old, Mom and Dad gave it to him as an adult gift. It was his first mobile phone in his life. After getting familiar with how to operate it, Cheng Yu logged into the 3G version of QQ web page. Because it was still the default of the old system, his QQ nickname was still Stubborn Boy. Seeing this nickname, Cheng Yu almost died of embarrassment. A stubborn web novel protagonist. Cheng Yu quickly changed it to Cheng Xiaoyi. By the way, he took a look at the personal signature. This thing was still popular now. Loving you is my business and has nothing to do with you. Was it so embarrassing? What was a one-bedroom and one-living-room apartment? Cheng Yu almost dug through the earth. After resolutely deleting it, not knowing what to write in the empty space, Cheng Yu simply changed it to a sentence. One must know the lofty aspirations of one's youth and one's promise to be the best in the world. For more exciting content, please listen to the next episode.